No matter how hard you strive to extend a helping hand to others, if they lack the inner motivation to change, then it's all in vain. Just as Epictetus famously said, our feelings aren't determined by external events, but rather by our reactions to them. You've consistently demonstrated a rare quality by tirelessly assisting others. However, it must be recognized that even with good intentions, if someone lacks the desire to change, then no amount of help you provide will make a difference. Before you invest considerable energy into solving seemingly insoluble situations, it's important to heed this video. It will offer you clear guidance to help you avoid heading towards a dead end. We'll be discussing 9 types of individuals who, for various reasons, are unwilling to accept help and often need to face their challenges alone. Before delving deeper into these individuals, be sure to subscribe to our channel to ensure you don't miss out on any important information. The first category of individuals you shouldn't help is those who deceive themselves. Some people deceive themselves by fabricating stories, which contradicts the teachings of Stoic philosophy. Stoicism emphasizes honest self-examination and maintaining truthfulness, because only by facing our mistakes can we achieve growth. The fundamental issue with these individuals is that they firmly believe the stories they concoct, to the extent of disregarding others' perspectives. They fail to understand that our minds can distort facts and perceive things based on feelings rather than actual circumstances. Typically, they don't intend to harm others but are trapped in their own fabricated fantasies. This habit of self-deception may stem from challenging childhood experiences, where their longing for belongingness may have shaped their perspective. These challenges might prompt them to create a comfortable reality. However, helping them is extremely tricky because they've already built such strong psychological barriers. You might try to convince them that the earth is round, but they'll counter with reasonable arguments. Even if you present them with obvious facts, they'll distort them to fit their viewpoint. Only when they realize the error in their thinking will they truly change, but this often requires professional psychological guidance. This reminds us of current political debates, where people adhere to their positions, disregarding logical inconsistencies, and even when they contradict themselves, they still believe they are right. The second category of individuals you shouldn't help is opportunists. Profoundly understanding others is a rare and beautiful human trait. Stoicism emphasizes viewing the world with empathy, feeling others' emotions without judgment. However, we must beware of those who exploit this kindness. Some individuals perceive empathy as a weakness and pretend to be friends only to exploit you. How do you identify them? Observe their behavior. A true friend seeks help when genuinely needed, while these individuals often incessantly request assistance, even for tasks they could handle themselves. Some know how to make you feel guilty from the start. They might say, "You're such a good friend, could you help me with this?" Occasionally seeking help from others is acceptable, but these people are always seeking assistance, even when they can solve the problem themselves. They disregard your time, and unfortunately, even if you don't want to help, you'll eventually give in. If you refuse, they'll make you feel guilty, and despite your repeated rescues, they won't change. They believe it's okay because someone will always help them. We advise you to distance yourself from such individuals and not feel sorry for it. Remember, you only need to care for yourself and fulfill your commitments. The third category of individuals you shouldn't help are those who are selfish and self-centered. These individuals are highly egocentric, always viewing everything in relation to themselves. For instance, when you discuss the worsening traffic situation in your city, they might dismiss it with a casual remark like, "Traffic isn't a problem," simply because they haven't experienced any issues themselves. When you share good news, such as landing a new job, they might dampen your joy with complaints about their own dissatisfaction with work, as if they're stealing your happiness and replacing it with their own discontent. From now on, even if you become the center of attention, your friends steal your thunder, and now everything revolves around their feelings, as if your thoughts or emotions are inconsequential. If someone only cares about themselves, would you still stand by them? If so, do you have enough confidence to demand change from them and insist they also care about others? Remember, if you try to help someone become better but they're unwilling, they won't change. But if you're striving for improvement while surrounded by negativity, they might hold you back. In such cases, it's perhaps best to distance yourself from these individuals. The fourth category of individuals you shouldn't help are those who never admit their mistakes. These individuals dislike admitting when they're wrong, which indicates they don't truly examine themselves and lack humility. Thinkers like the Stoics believe these qualities are crucial for personal growth. They're always quick to say, "It's never my fault," telling you that you're just unlucky, rather than taking responsibility. For them, admitting fault and learning from it is crucial. They act without considering the consequences, unaware of how their actions affect others. When things go wrong, they always blame others or external factors, never reflecting on their own responsibility. They believe their choices don't affect others, or they simply don't care about the consequences. Helping them is challenging because they refuse to acknowledge their mistakes. If something goes wrong because of their decisions, they always insist it's not their fault. You often hear them say, "I didn't do anything wrong." If you think teaching them humility could help them improve, you might be wasting your time. When they face problems, they always blame others or external factors. Failed an exam? It's the teacher's fault. Had a car accident? They'll blame the weather. House is dirty? It's because of their job. Can you really help someone who refuses to admit their mistakes? We believe it's best to step back. If you've been trying to show them a better way, but they resist, your efforts may not be worthwhile. They often just complain and may try to drag others down with them. It's best to keep your distance while you still can. The fifth category of individuals you shouldn't help are those who fail to plan ahead. Imagine the difficulty of trying to remind them that time is fleeting while they seem indifferent. You believe they could achieve more than they imagine. Yes, the importance of enjoying today is undeniable, but that doesn't mean we should disregard the importance of the future. What we do today shapes our tomorrow. True happiness comes when we use our talents and learn skills to improve our lives. Some people only see what's in front of them, not because they lack skills, but because they haven't considered how to apply those skills for the future. They have talent in many areas, and the best way to help them is not to teach new skills, but to encourage them to apply what they know. Often, they just need to take action. They're aware of their potential and the goals they can achieve, but if they always rely on others' help without taking action themselves, it's hard to inspire their growth. Maintaining this state will hold them back. Ancient philosophers believed striving for a better life is positive because otherwise, negative emotions, like anxiety, take over. The sixth category of individuals you shouldn't assist comprises those who cling to the negative aspects of life. Some people always see the glass as half empty, which is starkly different from the attitude of ancient thinkers who emphasized tranquility, resilience, and gratitude in the face of adversity. It's essential to recognize the ups and downs of life and maintain psychological balance. While everyone experiences bad days and feelings of anger or sadness, solely focusing on the negative aspects and disregarding the beauty of life is entirely another matter. This attitude only brings more melancholy to your life, hindering you from seeing the wonders of the world. Some individuals seem adept at fixating on the negative aspects of life, and trying to help them can ultimately feel like a futile struggle. When they share their troubles, wanting to help is a natural response, but they seem to have a new question for every answer you provide. Their persistent negative attitude may begin to affect your own emotions, much like watching the news where most stories revolve around unfortunate events. After offering numerous solutions, you start to feel that perhaps they don't really want help, they just enjoy complaining and seeking attention. If all their problems were to suddenly disappear, they might even feel unhappy because they somewhat enjoy discussing those complex issues. Some individuals seem to always talk about their problems as if that's all there is to their life. They always mention not having enough money, issues with their children or partners, or setbacks at work. Do you believe you can change someone who complains about every aspect of life? Do they truly want help? Perhaps it's best not to try at all. If you want to maintain positivity and energy, maybe it's best to let them find their own path. Hopefully, with time, they'll learn to complain less and focus more on those who truly value your advice and want to improve. If you don't do this, you may eventually become as negative as the person you're trying to help, perhaps without even realizing it. The seventh category of individuals you shouldn't assist comprises those who never believe that they are at fault. They always blame others and never engage in self-reflection, which contradicts the notion that we should focus solely on how we respond to situations rather than the situations themselves. If we don't master our reactions, our emotions will take over, leaving us feeling perplexed. How do you help someone who believes that all problems stem from others and refuses to acknowledge their own mistakes? If they can't see where they might have gone wrong, they will never strive to improve because they believe they are already the best. Some people always blame others, either because they can't see their own faults or because they choose not to. They believe that if they lack friends, then others should be blamed. If they are unhealthy, they claim that good food is expensive. If they miss job opportunities, they think the interview was intentionally difficult. The best help you can offer is to let life experiences teach them, and eventually, they may see where the real problems lie. The eighth category of individuals you should refrain from assisting consists of those who expect the world to favor them. Some individuals believe that the world should hand them everything they desire, simply because they exist. The teachings of Stoicism instruct us to maintain balance with the world and others, emphasizing that respect and rewards should be earned. Some well-meaning individuals seek to help these people see reality differently, but often these individuals do not perceive such guidance as benevolent. They may even feel threatened by it. Some believe that because they appear good, others should do things for them, placing those who attempt to help them in a difficult position, as they are often taken advantage of. Certain individuals feel entitled to extra attention when things don't go smoothly, and they may even play the victim in front of those who have helped them previously, potentially manipulating situations. It may only be when they face the same behaviors they have exhibited that they come to realize the need for change. The ninth category of individuals you should avoid helping comprises those unwilling to learn or change. The teachings of Stoicism urge us to better understand ourselves and consistently strive for improvement. However, some individuals resist examining their flaws or embracing growth. They remain stagnant and often blame others for their problems. Assisting them can prove challenging, as they refuse to heed advice or accept guidance. For instance, Joe never admits his mistakes, even when he clearly errs, always shifting blame onto others. Sarah receives feedback for improvement at work, but ignores it, believing her methods are always superior. Mike continually faces relationship issues, but attributes them solely to not having met the right person, neglecting to consider his own behavior. Linda frequently struggles financially but refuses to budget or save, instead blaming her job for not providing adequate compensation. At times, it's best to let them resolve their own issues. You don't always have to guide them step by step. Stoicism reminds us to live in harmony with nature, foster good relationships, and take responsibility for ourselves. By adhering to these teachings, we can pursue a meaningful life in alignment with the universe. Strong resilience is crucial, just as the Stoics advocate. Once again, thank you for your attention, and until next time.